Alright, Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakak Wadash. Yahweh being known, the Heavenly Father, the Creator of heaven and earth, God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and God of Jacob, the God which the scriptures speak of. And Yahweh Shai is only because in some which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, and the Rakak Wadash, which is the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who were pushing his 100% truth of the gospel, helping to wake up and to sing the elect of the nation of Israel. And salutation to you, sincere Archimedes, that are pushing this gospel in righteousness and sincerity. We see your lives and your freedom to do so. Right, so we're going to go into the dream that I had the other night, like last night. I just wanted to use this dream to get the lesson. Concerning what I dreamt about, it was a dream about the mark of the beast, the microchip. It wasn't really like a dream where I was seeing them chipping people, but it was something more, but it was something a little different, So let me just go into the dream. So I was so basically where I was in this how do I put it? One of my old churches back when I was still in plantation Christianity. Back when I was still in the world, I was in one of the old churches I used to go to. I used to be an Anglican at that time. So when I was there, I saw a huge group of people, a huge congregation of people, and they were all Hebrew Israelites. They were all Hebrew Israelites, and some of them, the ones that were teachers were wearing garments. They were wearing garments, like the same garments that the brothers and the elders of Great Millstone wear. And it was a huge congregation. It was filled with. Let me get the definition. Let me get the build-up for that word congregation real quick, so we can get what it means. Let's get this one, because what it is. The congregation is just a gathering of believers, I believe. I believe it's a gathering of believers. And when I say gathering of believers, I mean Israelites, not these other nations that call themselves believing in Christianity. Alright. So the word there is Ada. And basically it's a congregation or a gathering. And that's basically what it is. That's when Israelites gather together, that's the congregation right there. So there are men, women, and children in there, maybe a little bit over 100 plus. And when I saw the men that were teaching them, how would I put it? The leaders that were gathering the people together and wanting to start bringing out the lesson. I believe that these are the men of these men have to be brothers. They have to be men of the Lord as well. Men that teach the likewise doctrine, the same doctrine as Great Millstone. I know it was funny because when I was in my garments too. I had my Bible in my hand. I had my phone. I was dressed like I was going out for camp. So I said to just instead of teaching and instead of going to camp like I usually do, I decided to sit down and listen to these men and see what they have to say. But then I realized that that the building is actually bigger than it actually is. The same building that because the church I used to go to in the world, it was a really big church. It was all these mega churches, like a cathedral or so. So I decided to go to the other rooms and see what's going on. So in the other rooms, I walked into the other rooms, and then there were the usual plantation Christian pastors, or reverends in this case. This was an Anglican church, preaching to an empty audience. Only like 4 or 5 people were even in that room listening to the plantation Christians, what they were saying. And that must have been the spirit, showing me that showing that less and less people are interested in, less and less people are actually Christians. Less and less people believe in the doctrine of plantation Christianity. Our people are leaving plantation Christianity in droves. Whether they are going to, whether they're going to other philosophies, like Islam or that black conscious, not that black conscious stuff, or atheism or whatever they are going into. But less and less people are in plantation Christianity because they know that the truth is not in there, so they are going around looking for the truth. That's how Romans 11 and 7. Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So so when I just see this, I'm like, wait a minute, but I'm like, wait a minute, that this isn't right. Let me go to that in the book of 2 Corinthians 6 verse 14, because that's the just scripture that popped into my mind when I saw that. When I saw that in the dream, because to me I was like, no, this isn't right. What fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? I was going, that's what I was thinking about. So this is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14, and it reads, "Be not equally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? And what concord hath Hamashiach with Belial? And what part hath he that believeth with an infidel?" So I'm like, where are these people? Where are these people holding their camp inside the church where Christians are worshiping on? Because even in the dream, it was a Sunday, Sunday morning. When these traditional Christians go out to their worship, because the churches here in Nigeria, they are opened up again. They opened up since last week. Now I was doing a lesson on this, Lord willing, but the Spirit didn't really hit me, so I couldn't do anything on it. So I go back to the other room, and these men were teaching in. And I called over one of the one of the brothers. And I said to him, and I said to him, Yahweh Bashim, Yahshai Barakatam, that kind of thing. And he just tells you, and he's like, can't, Shalom Akim. And I asked, and then I go into that, 1 John 4:1, try the Spirit by the Spirit. They just ask him a few questions to see what kind of philosophy, what kind of philosophies he's teaching. So this is the book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. "Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of power, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. Hereby know ye the spirit of power. Every spirit that confesseth that Hamashiach Yahweh or Yahweh Hamashiach is come in the flesh, is of power, or is of God." So I asked him, the first question I asked him, that was the first question I asked him, is that do you believe that the mark of the beast is the mark of the beast? That's what I asked him. He was confused, because that's exactly how I said it. Is the mark of the beast the mark of the beast? Because in my own mind, I'm so persuaded in my own mind that the RFID chip is the microchip. The microchip, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. That if you say the mark of the beast, the first thing that comes is I'm getting this excited. But if you say mark of the beast, the first thing that comes into my mind is the RFID microchip. I don't really, it's basically the same thing to me. If you tell me RFID microchip, if you say microchip, if you say chip, the first thing that comes into my mind is, the mark of the beast. That Charagma, Revelation 13, 13 and 16. That's the first thing that comes into my mind. So normally, if I see the mark of the beast, RFID microchip instantly, it doesn't even really need to register it. So I apologize for I asked the question the right way. Do you believe that the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast? And the first thing is, and he says no. And I'm like, I was like, what? Like, I'm just screaming like that, like what? I was surprised. I was surprised when I was in the dream. I was pretty spiritual. It was surprising to me. Like, why? What's why? Just like what's why? Why would you think that broke out? That's what was going on in my mind. Then I started to ask him that question, just to see where he's at in the spirit, just to see what kind of doctrines he's teaching. So I asked him about reincarnation. When I was asking him, do you believe in reincarnation? That's when I just woke up. And the spirit jumped on me to write down that dream and to make it and do a lesson. Because normally I don't get a lot of the spirit doesn't really click with me whenever it comes to the topic of the microchip, the microchip, the mark of the beast. This is a chance to use this dream as an excuse to bring out some edification concerning that RFID microchip because it's huge right now. That's the reason why I was so surprised in the dream, because the microchip, this whole microchip market situation is huge right now. That's like the biggest prophecy that's about to happen. That can happen before we physically see our salvation. Meaning that before Yahushua cracks the clouds, the RFID microchip is probably the biggest prophecy that's going to happen, because one of the scriptures says that he will cause all the entire planet to take that mark. And he had great milestone, he had great milestone. We believe 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, that the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast. Because it has all, because it fulfills all the prophecies. You cannot buy or sell, you cannot even live in society, because this is what the elites are planning. And that you not be able to live in modern society without that mark of the beast. It has the child thigh stigma, which is, if you go into it, that is the Greek way of saying 600. That's the Greek way of saying 666. That's the child thigh stigma engraved in it. So I'm going to get some scriptures. Let me go to that Revelation 13, and I believe it's the 18th chapter. So let me go to that and bring it out, because if you go into the Greek, the Greek translation, that's the word that you see there when it says 600 and 600, 600, 3 score and 6. Chai Sai Stigma. So let me open it up and maybe I can play the audio. Let me see whether I can that my volume is up so I can hear it. Okay. Come on.
Strong's G 5516. Chai Psi Stigma. Chai Psi Stigma.
Chai Psi Stigma. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but if I just want to place and bring out the correct pronunciation, you'll have to bear with me with that.
Strong's G 5516. Chai Psi Stigma.
Because these quotation Christians, they don't have any understanding of what that 600 and that 666 means. But basically that that's cool is that it's engraved in every single. Is that cool that it's on every single I think I have one here. So you look where I can find it. Basically, I think it's the ISBN or so. But it's cool that it's engraved in every single ISBN, 666, there's one in the beginning, there's one in the middle, and there's one in the end. Maybe I'm going to go into that a little bit later, when I bring it out, when I go jump to the browser to bring out some more edification. Alright, and we know that only the elect, will be that the elect will be the only people that won't take this mark, that won't take this microchip in their right hand and in their forehead, as is written in Revelation chapter 13 verse 16. I will go to that as well. Let's first get Revelation 13 and 8. This is the book of Revelation chapter 13 verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So from the beginning, the elect have already been sealed, and the people who are not of the elect, whether you are an Israelite or you are hidden, because whether you are an Israelite or you are hidden, knowing that only Israel, that the only people that can be part of the elect are Israelites. No hidden is going to be a part of the elect, and that is a topic for the lesson for another time. Going into that, but basically. But basically, the Most High, how about Yahushua, He'll put that spirit on us, to not be able to, to not receive the mark. He'll put that spirit on us to bear or to endure whatever hardship we go through, so that we will not receive that, so that mark will not be put in us. You put that spirit on, you send His angels before us to make sure that we don't get put in a situation where we have to take the mark. Right. So let me get some precepts concerning that. That is the book of Revelation chapter 3, and I'll start from verse 5. He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life, but I will confess his name before my Father and before his angels. And also the book of Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the worlds to try them that dwell upon the earth. You can also read Psalms 91, and I believe that's basically it. But this is a part of the faith. This is a part of the service, the ministry. This belief that we have right here. We have faith that in that time that that the Most High, the Most High won't put us in a situation where we'll be forced to take the mark of the beast, or where we'll have no other choice but to take the mark of the beast. Even if, and He'll give us that faith and that strength that even if we are faced with death, I will happily take that death down to actually take that mark of the beast, because you understand, you understand what taking that mark means, you understand what getting that microchip implanted in our bodies mean. So, seeing that all these things will come to pass, and lo, it will come. That is that Ezekiel 33 verse 3, Then let me go to that. Yeah, let me go to that. So, Ezekiel 33 verse 3. So, yes, also be with me. I forgot which chapter that actually is in. Oh, here it is. So this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, because it will come to pass that the RFID microchip will be known as the mark of the beast. That it will be without a doubt the mark of the beast. And I continue, then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. So when all these things come to pass, because they will come to pass, the scriptures ask you in the book of 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 8 or 11 or so, that when the earth is when the earth is on fire, that when you see the earth on fire, when you see all these crises, that basically means when you see all these crises, all these calamities fall upon the earth, what manner of persons are you going to be? In all, let's go to that 2 Peter. But what manner of person are you going to be in all holy conversation? Here it is, the book of 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? So if you know that the RFID microchip is coming, if you know that the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast, if you know that, and you know that it is, what I mean to say that if you know that the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast, and you know that it is coming, what manner of person are you to be in all holy conversation and in godliness? What are you going to do about it? What are you doing about? What are you doing having this knowledge? What are you doing having it? What are you doing having knowledge? Are you pushing this knowledge? Are you just keeping it to yourself? Do you fully believe in this? And are you trying to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh so that He will have mercy on you during that time, and I know that He will hide you from calamity. He will protect you, from the hour of temptation, as is written in Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. And also, or will you decide that even though you know fully well, because most of these people, most of these Israelite camps, especially these leaders, like that Paul Kessie that is in IUIC, he knows that the RFID microchip is mark of the beast, but he's not doing anything to convince the leadership. I know. Because the others, even some of the leadership of IUIC, they know that the RFID microchip is mark of the beast. Now, using IUIC as an example because they're the ones that actually know of that their leaders. No, I don't know about ISUPK and the other Israelite camps. But basically, they're instead of them to warn their followers, they're telling them that what the RFID microchip is the image of Cesare Borgia or something like that. And instead of them to be like I believe it's the apostle Luke, I believe it's Luke, he wrote the book of Acts. So the disciples that, and let me just, instead of saying, let me just go to it before I butcher it completely. So the book of Acts chapter 20 verse 20, and it reads, so this is the book of Acts chapter 20 verse 20. And how I kept back nothing that was profitable unto you, but I've showed you, and I've taught you publicly and from house to house. So you're not supposed to hold back anything that the Spirit has poured into your mind, that the Spirit has poured upon you. You're supposed to just pour everything out, everything that the Most High give you, you give. Everything that the Most High gives you, you give to the whole earth. Whether people hear or forbear, as the scriptures say. So I'm going to jump down to Acts 20 verse 26, and I read, wherefore I take you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men, for I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of power, all the counsel of the Most High. So you have to be like the apostles and the disciples. They did not shun to declare all the counsel of the Most High. So from now until the time where the famine of the world, begins, when the famine of the world fully starts, and you're not able to go out into the highways and byways or do any more videos again. You have to be able to bring out, this edification, bring out the whole truth, the 100% truth, bring out everything that the Most High has given you, and something that most of these Israelite camps don't do. So let me go to my browser and use this as an example now. So what I have here is an engraving tools, because let me go to that. If you go to Revelation chapter 13, I believe it's the 16th chapter, where it talks about the mark of the beast. Where it talks about the mark, that Charagma. Let me go to that. Yeah. Let's see, Charagma. Here it is, the mark. And we've already brought this out a lot of times, that the word Charagma actually means a thing inserted. So this is the strong for the word Charagma, a stamp, an imprinted mark. And of the mark stamp, this first one is not, this isn't, let me go to the second one, thin carved sculpture or graving work. And basically, we're talking about something that is it's something that is inserted into you, but also the tool that is used to insert it into you. That's why I brought out these engraving tools, because what engraving is, and we'll go to that as well. It basically means to make a mark on a surface, to make a design. Let me just get the definition instead of butchering it. So I'll just go to the definition. So let me go to that. And this is it right here. Engraving is the practice of incising a design onto a hard, usually flat surface by cutting grooves into it with a bearing. So the reason why I put out this engraving tools is because I wanted to just show you how these tools, they look basically like needles, like syringes that you use to insert. That syringe is going to be the tool that you're going to use, that they will use to insert the microchip into people's right hand, and even into the forehead. When they do that neural link transplant that neural link transplant that Elon Musk is planning, they're going to be using tools that are similar to these engraving tools. So this is what John the Revelator saw when he was when he saw the mark of the beast being implemented, being put in the right hand and foreheads of people. They believed that he looked at the syringe and it looked similar to engraving tools, which is why I brought out these images of the engraving tools. And you can go into Google yourself and check them. You can see that some of them actually look very similar to what's what I'm looking for, syringes. So next I'm going to go into Charagma. I just typed it down on Google, Charagma. If you go into images, the only thing that you see is talking about the chip, the chip, the RFID microchip. You see it, you see it right hand, and then what? That's what I'm looking for. Right hand and the forehead, and they're showing you as it is the RFID microchips. So even Google. All you need to do is just type it, Charagma, and you can clearly see that this is the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast. There is no other thing that acts as even a close substitute to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is going to type in the ISBN. Let me see that icons. ISBN barcode. Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking for, barcode. And I'm going to type let me try that again. Just type in 666 barcode, to show you what I was talking about. Here it is. This is what I was talking about. Most of the products that are out here today, they have this barcode, and you always see these two lines, and these two lines represent 6. So it's always the two lines are always on every single barcode. That is 600 666. And I have a product right here, a medicine tablet, and it has that exact same barcode. I'm looking at it right now. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about that chai stigma, and the microchip, the RFID microchip has this same barcode on it. There's a tree that is the mark of the beast. It has all the prophecies right there. It has the 666 on it. It has the prophecy of it being put into your right hand or your forehead. I mean, you will not be able to buy or sell without it. So that's all I have to say concerning that. I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory once again to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Shalom.